Ladies and gentlemen, straight from Trinidad, our Full Sail grads Lance Smith, founder and CEO of Schmidt Entertainment, and his beautiful wife, and also a Full Sail grad, Sandra Lizama Smith. So let's give him a warm welcome. Yay! Great, welcome. Have a seat.
Thank you.
Wow.
Yeah, it's different. They graduated 3 years ago. And why don't we get started? Sandra, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself?
Okay, yes. So I'm originally from North Carolina, and I came to Full Sail in 2013 and graduated in 2014 with entertainment business. And during my time here, I got to meet a lot of great people, got really involved with a lot of volunteering and events around Orlando and at Full Sail. And now we're in Trinidad doing this music festival. Yep.
Well, great. Well, we're glad you're here. Lance, go ahead.
Hi, my name is Lance. I am from Trinidad and Tobago. It's an island in the Caribbean, right above South America. I graduated in 2014 from the entertainment business degree. I had the greatest experience of my life at Full Sail. It's the best entertainment school in the USA.
The world.
At Trinidad, I own and founded an entertainment business company that hosts many events, different types of events. We also do weddings, graduations, apart from hosting our own personal events. So that came the birth of the SKYY Rock Festival.
Why don't we show them the videos?
Okay.
We have 2 promotional videos. You can see what this is all about and what we're going to talk about.
So here's the first one.
Sounds exciting, doesn't it? Now we're going to see a video of what I saw and helped participate in that happened just a couple of months ago.
Yes. This is our after movie.
Lance. So does that look like fun or what? Why don't you tell me, explain to people what the SKYY Rock Festival is, the whole 3-day conference that you held this year, and how you came up with the idea.
Well, the idea came to me one day when I was sitting in my office, and I was thinking that I love rock music, I love old rock music, I love that era and that time, and I love watching all these and experiencing all these shows that I've gone to. I've traveled to many different places in the States, and I've gone to different concerts, and I said, there's nothing like this in Trinidad at this time. There used to be a big rock concert competition called the Pop Rock Awards, but now it has changed and they don't have anything anymore. So I said with one partner in my office, I wanted to do something different, and I wanted to do a show with 10 bands at 100 TT dollars, which is very, very affordable. And within 3 months, we worked very heavily together with my team of 8, and then it was a massive success. First year and first time.
And you had just graduated from Full Sail when you did
Yes,
that.
that was my biggest event thus far.
Okay.
Yes.
And then how did that grow into a 3-day event?
Well, go ahead and explain that one.
Okay, well, from the previous 2 years, we had a lot of requests for heavy metal. You know, a lot of people want to get a lot of heavy metal involved, and we started really studying our crowd that was attending the festival, and seeing the different groups. So we thought, why not, divide, the music festival into a heavy metal night and then more of a progressive experimental rock night. And that's how we decided to do 2 days of rock music. And then we expanded to the music conference, which was not limited to rock alone. This is just music all across the board. And we saw the opportunity to really give back to the talent that was being involved in our music festival. And not only that, through our entertainment company, we've met a lot of artists and that sing soca, calypso, dance hall, and we saw that there was a need for an education of the industry, and we were very excited after speaking with Margaret and letting her know this is an idea, that it started off as an idea, and getting the full support of our team and Margaret and Full Sail staff here as well. We went ahead and pushed for the music conference as well, and that's how we went into a 3-day event this year.
And why don't you talk a little bit about who the other presenters were at the conference?
Yes, but we had COT, which is the copyright law organization of not only Trinidad and Tobago, but the Caribbean region. They were full on board whenever we started telling them what we wanted to do to give back to the musicians and talent of the island. And we also had the Ministry of Artists Registry, which is, all the artists and songwriters register through this ministry in order to help get sponsorship or endorsements, along with other exposure as well. We had Music TT, which is the organization that helps, independent artists get some exposure when it comes to social media, collaborating with other artists. And we had our sound company have
Stage Crew, Fusion TT.
Fusion TT.
We also had Creative TT, which also helps with the marketing side of Music TT.
Yes.
And we also
EMA.
had EMA, the Environmental Management Authority of Trinidad and Tobago.
And my husband was there.
And Dale Cox.
Okay, great. So when you put this all together, some with education and some that like metal and some that like hard rock, who would your target audience be? Would it be the same audience for the 3-day event?
The way that we did our marketing was for everyone across the board. Even if some people were to go only for Saturday night, the way that we advertised our festival was for everyone. And I mean, we gave everyone the option when it came to tickets. You know, people had the option to get the 1-day pass or the 2-day pass. And well, the way that we advertised the music conference was music all across the board. And we had a lot of people who pushed it as well. And yeah.
The reason why we did the 2 days is because we wanted to give people the option. From the previous 2 years, it was just 1 day, and we saw the division in the crowd, but there was still unity, but people will show up to see which style of music they want. So we switched it to 2 days and gave people the option, and this time it was even better. It's the first 2-day rock festival in Trinidad as well.
In the
And I would
Caribbean.
like to, go ahead.
Oh, it's the first 2-day festival, rock festival in the Caribbean region. Ours is the biggest one.
And this rock festival is going on Trinidad's National Registry,
Yes.
which is like amazing. Because once it's on the registry, all the cruise ships, it'll bring in more tourism dollars. They can get money from the government, and it's really a big feat. And I'm really, really proud of them for doing that. Because you've already slayed it. It's
Yes.
great. It's great. How did you select your bands?
This one is Sandra's
Okay.
expertise.
Well, the way that we went about the bands, well, it was only a few that had actually participated in the previous 2 years, and we decided to get a little more selective this coming year. So we would go to a lot of the rock shows of the bands that we were already familiar with. A lot of bands would recommend fellow bands, and we would check out their Facebook pages, see how they advertise online, what their presence is online,
Yes.
how many people they were drawn to their own shows. And a big thing for us is willingness, how much they're willing to be a part of the project and how involved they want to be. And those are all factors that we took into consideration, and how to prepare our lineup for both days. And so that was really the 3 major factors.
And these people came from 5 different countries: Suriname, French Guiana, Guyana, and Trinidad and Tobago. And the thing, if you don't know where it is, it's a 4-hour flight from here. And to just put that in perspective, Las Vegas is a 4.5-hour flight. So that's how far away it is. It's right off the coast of Venezuela. You can even see Venezuela from the coast, which is kind of cool. So we'll keep going here. How did you select the order in which they played? Because you had 2 nights of bands. How did you figure out who's opening, who's closing?
Well, from the list of bands that we had for this year's festival, we realized that they were all of the same level. The crowd usually likes to come later, like in most places when you go to an event. So this was a very difficult part for us in planning, but we made it balanced. The newer upcoming bands are the ones that we put towards the beginning, but we still made sure that we had some bands that performed the previous years, and we gave them a higher spot since they continued to perform with us. And we made sure that we put the headliners and the foreign bands from Guyana and French Guyana as the headliners on Saturday night.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great. So how did you publicize and brand your event?
Oh, well, our marketing campaign began with simple posters and flyers and Facebook ads, and it grew into getting newspaper newspaper ads and articles. A lot of the newspaper companies, they came to us because what we're doing, we're promoting local talent. So they were all on board, so we got a lot of free articles. Then we partnered with the most popular radio station in Trinidad, and they were all on board because on that radio station there's a show called the Total Local Show every Thursday night. And every Thursday night, it's known to have the rock crowd following. And the MC, his name is Mike Ross, he supported us fully. We got a lot of free spots on his show, and we got to take some bands with us. Sandra did most of the following up with Mike Ross and got them on the show. We even got to take the foreign bands. We made sure that they came to Trinidad 2 days before, just so they can get some more traction with their marketing. We make sure that it's not about, we can't do the show without the talent, and the show is just based around creating a platform to expand their brand, and by extension it expands our brand.
Yes. Well, we had advertisement on television as well. We got some interviews in morning shows where they played our ad as well. And it all really was through building the relationship with all these people involved in these companies. You know, through the radio station, they really loved what we were doing, and now they're interested in a 2-year contract with us. And the people on the show, they definitely are always following up on what we're doing, all the projects that we're involved in. And well, a lot of it was online, and all the bands are always pushing the show as well. So we did get a lot of advertisement just because everyone was just so interested in our show. It was the biggest show that's been introduced to the Caribbean. So we've gotten a lot of support.
Well, and you had some incredible sponsors. Why don't you tell them who some of your sponsors were?
Yes. We got Cause Light this year. They actually approached us because it's the only music festival of its kind, apart from the jazz festival and what Trinidad is known for, its carnival season. Usually it's very difficult to get these foreign companies to sponsor, but when they came to us, they were all for the idea. They luckily they wrote us a good sum of money to support for our radio ads. We also had
A lot of in-kind sponsorship.
and
through
in-kind
Coors as
sponsorship.
well.
We had White Oak, which is under Angostura. That's a rum. We had
Jack Daniels. Jack
they-
Daniels was a big supporter. They, really hooked up the artist up with the really nice artist lounge, and the artists were very, very happy. And we also had
Sky Vodka.
Sky Vodka, Patron Tequila as well. Were part of our, and majority of the sponsors were new sponsors as well from the previous years. And we even had a moment where another beer was trying to outbid Coors Light, and
Local beer.
that was a good feeling because we were like, yeah, hard work is paying off, and
Lance and Sandra put together about 200 photos, so we'll show all the photos at the end so you can see all the sponsorships and the lounges and the whole thing, unless you guys want to see them now. We're good? Okay, we'll see them at the end, and you can see this because it's amazing. Amazing.
We also had the neighborhood papermen who sponsored us. It's a smoking paraphernalia shop. It's the only one of its kind as well in Trinidad. And yes, we got a lot of love from all our sponsors.
Great. You had a popular master of ceremonies. How did you choose him, and how did that whole relationship come about?
Well, we had already been building a relationship with Mike for a while ago. We had met him in previous rock shows, and he was already familiar with our festival from before. And
his name is
Mike Ross.
Mike Cross.
Mike Ross.
Because it could be people
Well,
Trinidad want to hear.
so yeah, he's a big radio host of 95.1, which is the rock station of Trinidad and Tobago. And actually, we were just at a show having a couple of beers, and we were like, Mike, I want you to be our MC for next year. And he was all for it. And once we started our negotiations with the station of how we would partner up, Mike Ross was supporting us all the way through. And he was actually the one who used to do the big rock shows in Trinidad and Tobago. And due to just the workload that he started getting in the station, he was no longer able to do it. And he's all for us. He continues to support us until this day, and we're really happy to have him part of our team.
Yes.
Well, tell us about the stage and the lights and the sound and how you were able to put that together with 20 bands. Like, it felt like it was overnight.
Yes. We had to prepare for the show a week in advance. And Fusion TT, my friend Stefan, he does a really good job. He's very easy to work with. He lays all his equipment down and he says, don't worry, I won't charge you for this extra lights. I'll just do this extra for you, because he as well likes what we're doing, because he loves rock music as well. He's known by all of the musicians, most of them, and he also does the sound engineering for most of the bands on the night. So when we decided we always wanted to improve the lights and the show production. And we just continued to build a bigger stage, and this time we actually got another stage provider, and he's just really good at what he does too. It was a 20 by 24 stage with a raise at the end, at the back, for the DJ and for the drum kit. So yeah.
Well, they do a lot of big shows in Trinidad as well. A lot of big soca shows, calypso, chutney. I don't think anyone would be familiar with that genre, but so and even with them, we've been building a relationship since the very beginning. And when they have their shows, we support them with their shows as well. When it comes to event management, or if it has to be something as simple as marketing or online marketing, we help them as well. And it's really just building relationships with these people and supporting one another in each and one of the projects that we do.
Mm-hmm.
What I thought was interesting, I was sitting in the balcony looking at all the people dancing down below, and the stage is all set up and it's all outside, but you could look across the street and they had like the sound police there setting up. You want to talk a little bit about that? Because it couldn't get beyond so many decibels or the whole thing would shut right down. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I'll talk a little bit, and Lance can share a little bit as well. The experience, well, they show up for about 3 hours is when they're on site. And they come and check our decibel levels, because at a certain time it has to drop a little bit, because we're in the heart of the city of San Fernando. And we really have to go and rub shoulders and be like, do you want anything to drink?
She's walking across the state, the street, saying, "You guys thirsty? You hungry? You need something?"
Yeah. So it does become a challenge when we have bands who have had a sound check at a certain decibel level, and then when they're on set and EMA happens to be there, and it has to drop, it does create a little conflict. But it's really just we have a great staff that goes and does damage control. We fortunately, EMA was able to bend backwards a little bit for us.
Yes.
And it really was just about rubbing shoulders, no matter how stressed you are in the situation, because we were very stressed at that, like the first couple of minutes that they were there. Really just pulling it together and figuring out, okay, I'll go talk to the bands, let them know, hey, I'm sorry for what's going on. And he goes talk to the officer, and we're all over the place. But it's really just about learning from that experience and seeing, okay, how can we avoid it affecting the sound of the bands for the following show.
And not disturb the neighboring houses, because
Yes.
where the show is, we're situated in one of the veins to the city, the arteries to the main city, called San Fernando. And where our venue is, it's right in the middle of a residential area, and there's a river, and then across the river is another residential area. So from the previous 2 years, we got problems, but they never shut us down. They have the power to shut you down. But luckily, they worked with us. We always make sure that the sound level decreases, and we position the speakers. That's what we changed this year. We changed the positioning of the stage. We changed the positioning of the speakers.
Yeah.
We had to also put a side drape against the tent facing the outside of the venue, just so we wouldn't be able to cross that sound barrier.
Yeah, so we prepared to, we were anticipating that it was going to happen. We knew it was going to happen. I mean, we let all the bands know, hey, there is a possibility that during your set, this is going to happen, so prepare for it. So, I mean, we do everything that we can, and every year we're always doing what we can to improve and let that not affect our show.
I found out something really interesting. I saw a whole metal concert, and there was not one swear word. They're not allowed to swear in public.
It's
So
illegal.
on the rock show, the very first band dropped the F-bomb. That was right there in the chorus. And I'm like to Sandra, I'm like, wow, and she's like, oh, no. So she had to go backstage and talk to them and say, no swearing, because they could shut you down for dropping the F-bomb.
Yes.
And I picked up on it, but it was like, wow, okay. Because I'm like, how come I didn't hear any of these F-bombs at the metal show,
Yeah.
So,
It's very clean metal
because
show.
it was a public performance. So that was kind of cool. Let's talk a little bit about the security issues.
Oh.
Okay.
We actually only had one incident. We expected that the crowd may get out of hand, but surprisingly, everyone behaves themselves. When they begin to go in the mosh pit, it's the most friendly mosh pit I've ever seen in my life. They help each other up when they hit each other down.
I mean, they'll knock you down, but
They
they'll help
pick
you back up.
And we only had one incident, which was the first year. And yeah, we had to throw a guy out. But as soon as that guy went out, everything just went back like smoothly. And it was contained under 2 minutes.
What about metal detectors and?
Oh, yes. This year, well, knowing artists, before they perform, they would like to probably become a bit under the
Inspired.
influence. Inspired. That's the best word, right?
That's the word.
So we can't control them too much. We want them to feel comfortable, so we make sure that they're in an area where, they feel good, and we don't allow any drugs. No one can bring alcohol inside from the outside of the event. We've realized that people like to exit the venue, probably take a drink in their car and come back inside. So we put a no exit before a certain time. We have metal detectors. We frisk people.
And the wands.
Wands, yeah, the metal detector wands. And we have disclaimer signs all throughout the venue. And
the
we have
officers check the
disclaimer signs for
bags.
the parking as well,
Yes.
because parking
This,
was a big
before we
thing.
talk anymore, why don't we see some pictures?
Okay.
This will be
Okay.
good. And then you guys can get more of a vision of what actually was going on. I was so surprised by the time we got back from Trinidad, they had the video made already. So that was amazing. So let's see some pictures.
Yes, it's playing.
Okay. Full Sail was a sponsor. Yay.
Big supporter, yes.
Here we
So
go. If you want to talk through
These
things.
pictures are a bit mixed up. Some of them will show the conference that we had on the Friday morning, and then then you'll see pictures from the Saturday night, the heavy
These are
metal
officers
night.
from COT organization, each one in different departments. And these are two big rappers from Trinidad and Tobago. Oh, well, these are our friends
Yes.
from Fort Lauderdale. Oh, well, yeah. So COT had a really big panel where a lot of artists were very interested in what they had to say due to the copyright laws, and mainly because of royalties. People want to know how they can get their money when their music is playing on the radio. So a lot of people were very well informed. One of the bands from Guyana even got registered right after the conference as well. So Music TT as well was providing some information for the artists that were present and how they can get registered through the organization, and how they can help them take their career to the next level.
Those are 4 Full Sail grads. Arad and
Yes.
Samir were here, and these
Entertainment business as
Entertainment.
well.
It was nice. It was really nice. They were all 4 of my students, and they all showed up. That was nice. Yeah.
Yes.
Just to see you.
Just
Yeah.
we made sure that the conference was not long and dreary. It was 2 hours long, and the reason why we chose to have these different providers, we had our sound company and lighting company. We had as the other organization. So when a musician or an artist came, they can get all the information they need to get to either start or enhance their career. So yeah.
And then there was another Full Sail grad that came, so there were 5 of us all together. What's me? 5 of you?
Yes, and he
That's
was
great.
recording arts. He was a
Mhm.
recording arts student. So a lot of people, we definitely are expecting the music conference to expand next year because a lot of people are very hungry for knowledge, and a lot of people were actually very interested about Full Sail. We got a lot of people to sign up and to get some information from Full Sail. This is one of the bands that was the first band for Saturday night before they went on stage, and
Ones that dropped the F-bomb.
yeah. So we got a good crowd. That's another band. They do more thrash metal. So that's that. These pictures you're seeing here are from Saturday night, which was our heavy metal night.
Photography is beautiful.
Thanks. That's all thanks to Scroll Media.
This band right here actually went to a competition in Suriname. They were doing a competition to go perform at Wacken Open Air in Germany. And there was bands from all the Caribbean that went to this competition, and this band won. And they got to perform in Germany. And now they're planning a tour throughout. They were recently in Mexico, and hoping to return to Germany next year as well.
With their help, they put they put Trinidad on the map for a different genre.
Yes.
Other than soca and chutney.
She actually was the only female that performed at SKYY Rock Festival. She was she's from Guyana. She was with this band called Creole Rock, which is a genre that they rooted from Guyana. And she blew everyone away. I mean,
She was great.
amazing.
Yeah.
Beautiful voice. Well, that was actually a mascot for this band right here, the Supernormal Band. They have a song named Big Big Gorilla, so they brought out their mascot and is on stage rocking out with everyone.
And we encourage the bands to put more theatrics in their performance. So every year they improve themselves. So when they get to go on a different stage, they have something more to show. This shows all our merchandise
And we'll talk about that.
and our
That's
vendor
vendors.
section.
Yeah.
We had 3 tattoo artists. One endorsed the event. We had one jewelry store, and we had the neighborhood paperman store. And you'll see it in a bit.
And all the bands
The
sold
babes.
their merch as well.
Actually, all the bands sold out their merchandise.
All the bands sold out?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you. There's the stage. That's a nice picture of the stage. So you guys be thinking of whatever questions you'd like to ask them. I still have some more, but they're here for you.
Oh, and that's Mike Ross.
He was the MC.
Yes, he was our MC.
And surprisingly, a lot of the bands love to wear our t-shirts during their performance, which makes us feel very proud because we go out to different shows, they come to our venue as well, and they're all wearing this t-shirt everywhere they go. So
What's a
I
nice
feel
T-shirt?
good. Yeah.
Yeah, they made both
Yeah.
of those shirts.
Yeah, these are a new design for this year.
Mhm.
Every year
These
we
two.
come out with the new design. Lance designs the t-shirts.
And makes them.
and
Yeah.
makes them. Yeah. This one was actually sponsored by White Oak. They gave us some in-kind sponsorship, gave us some T-shirts.
This show, a lot of the reviews from the band members were very positive. They felt a lot of camaraderie among each other. They said after coming off of stage, a lot of my personal friends said that they've never seen other members go in the crowd and appreciate and listen to the other bands play, even if it's not the same genre, if it's not the same type of music that they like. But
As we
they
have our
had it.
flags up.
The guy on the left got his first tattoo at this.
At the
At 60 years old, he got his first tattoo. He was so inspired. He was
Very much. Jack Daniels, there's some good inspiration that night.
yes. Well, it was so funny because his wife told me, he goes, well, at least I know he's not getting a tattoo. And then he came in a half an hour later. Oh, his arm hurt.
Yeah, so some of the band's merchandise there.
This is the lead singer from, this is the other member from
The drummer. A
band
band name
called-
that band is named Alter Roots, and they were recently in Canada. They partnered with some bands in Canada. Canada was doing a partnership with the cable from Canada. Did a partnership
Yes.
with the cable in Trinidad and partnered up with some artists. That's the one who dropped the F-bomb.
Oh, that's cute. That's my husband in the tie-dye.
Hatchling.
Oh yeah, this band is named Hatchlin. This guy in the center was the one who started that band, and he's been to Switzerland, and actually they're going to be here in Florida soon. They're doing a tour throughout Florida. So if you guys can check them out, you know, I would definitely recommend it. They're more psychedelic, you know, rock. Here's a girl getting a tattoo.
Jack Daniels even had Jack Daniels girls there that were posing with everybody.
Yeah. They brought some limited edition bottles as well to give to the musicians, and you know, big supporters of the rock scene throughout the Caribbean. This is the band from Guyana that came out. This band right here is named Mindscape Laboratory. And the guy, the tallest guy that you saw in the picture, he was awarded guitar god of Trinidad and Tobago.
Wow.
He's a very,
Very
talented
talented.
guy. Very talented.
As he performed, the crowd got silent.
Yeah, because his music, it was all instrumental, that particular band.
That's a good picture.
So yeah, we had a really amazing projector, you know, projecting some great artwork against our building.
And they even put the Full Sail logo up there.
Yeah, we put the
Yeah.
Full
That
Sail
was
logo
nice.
up there.
There's the MC.
Oh, these
These
guys
are
are from French
French
Guyana, and we have a little story about them as well once we finish with the pictures.
So did you have to negotiate a different deal with each band?
Yes.
Yes, we did.
Each band had a different deal depending on, you know, how long they've been out performing and how much they've accomplished throughout their career. We negotiate something individually with each band that performs.
And what changes have you told them about for next year if they wanted to perform? Because you set some pretty high standards.
Yes, we
Yeah, well, we're preparing them. We haven't let out too much details to them yet about how next year will be, but some of the things that we will be adding in order for you to qualify to perform will be having a minimum of 3 new songs out. Because they do, each band gets a 30-minute set, except for the headlining band gets a 45-minute set. So that's about 5 to 6 songs. So at least want to get you to have 3 new songs out and released
within the
in order
last
for you to
8
perform
months
within
as
the
well.
last 12 months. And we're checking out online presence as well, checking out if they have any live performances filmed on, if they have anything online. And
I love that picture. It's a great picture.
That was the 5 minutes of peace.
Yeah. So how many more do we have? 45. Maybe we'll stop it here. Let's stop it here, and then we can show some more at the end during Q&A.
Okay.
Okay, great.
can
These
pause it.
photos are nice, aren't they?
Yeah, thank you.
We've got more pictures that we can show during our Q&A, but I still have lots of questions. Now, you told me you sold out of the merch, but you had some of your own merch, plus you had the artist merch. So how did you handle that? Did you get a commission from the artist match, or was that part of the deal when you signed the band?
Oh,
Yeah, that's part of our agreement. That's just something that, we allow all the bands to bring all their merch. That's their money. They're just in charge of their float and making sure they have their own representative to sell their merchandise. All we do is really
provide the place.
provide the spot for them, give them a big container for them to put their stuff in there. They just had one sample of each product they brought on display, and they would just have to pull it out. And they, as I said, they had to be in charge of their own float and their own reps present. We did not handle the merchandise for the bands.
Okay. How did you figure out where the vendors were placed? Because the vendors closest to the door, that's a key place.
Yes. Well, our venue, we have a courtyard area, which is where the main stage is, and the balcony, which is called the SKYY Lounge. It's an indoor and outdoor venue. So the outdoor side was the VIP area, and the inside of the venue was the merchandise area where we put all of the vendors. The previous year, we had one tattoo artist, two music stores, the neighborhood papermen, and the merch section, and that was at the downstairs of the building, inside of the building. So this year we expanded it. We made sure that we gave the people what they wanted. We were very skeptical at the beginning if to have live tattoos going on, but
Yeah, I remember.
yeah,
He was like, I don't know if I want anyone getting a tattoo, but we finally did it. And the first time it happened, it was a great success. Like what the tattoo artist did was he gave away one tattoo. So whenever this guy came and got the tattoo, everybody came to see
Wow.
the tattoo, how he was getting it done. And after that, I mean, that was last year, the first time that we had the artist, and the show finished, and he was still there doing tattoos.
Wow.
So we were like, okay, that's definitely something that we have to bring back, and we moved it to the upstairs facility. And they started doing They did piercings as well, and a lot of people
Okay.
love it.
Okay. So what were your biggest challenges? I mean, we've talked about the audio, and we've talked about how you're going to pick your bands, but what else did you have for challenges?
Well, the biggest challenge is promoting the local rock and making sure that it transitions from just being a niche market in Trinidad and getting the mainstream eyes to be involved. So that's why we, instead of a concert, we made it into a festival. So whether you want to come and hear the music or you want to come and do something else, there's so many different things to do. We're actually going to create more enhancements and always add different elements. Don't want to disclose it now, but we have some tricks up our sleeve for the next year, just so we could continue improving the vibe of the place, the
The
venue,
experience.
the layout of the venue is a big part of it as well. The another challenge was
Well, what are the,
EMA.
the challenges that we got closer to the festival? I think it was about a week, 2 weeks before. The guys from French Guyana. French Guyana is in South America, right below Suriname, and they are French territory. So there was a big protest going on in that country, and they shut down everything. They shut down all the main roads, all the government office.
No one could leave.
So, the guys started messaging me and telling me, we're really scared that we're not going to be able to make it to the festival, because we were only about a week and a half
Yeah.
to 2 weeks out from the festival. And
They were the headliners.
they
as
were the
well.
headlining band for Saturday night. So as soon as they told me that at late at night, I remember getting a message, and that was a Saturday night they told me. So Monday morning, I download Viber on my phone, because I had to start making my international calls, and I start calling, the government office. I knew that they could go from French Guyana to Suriname, but we need to find a way how to get them there. And in order for them to get to Suriname, they needed a visa, and it was really last minute to be able to do that. So I call the embassy of Suriname and French Guyana to find out what are their options and how could we resolve this. And they told me about a travel pass and get them through the boat and all of that. And it took a lot of phone calls to really figure out how we could get these guys across. And thankfully,
with their instruments.
with their
Yes.
instruments, with everything, and it was 8 people in total
With their
traveling
wives.
with wives. They were coming, and thankfully they managed. They took a boat to Suriname, got their travel pass to be able to take their flight to Trinidad, and they made it, thankfully. But we
Wow.
were down to the wire when it came to that, because the government the protest didn't start till probably that same weekend of the festival. Yeah. So that was something that, we were not expecting it, but thankfully we managed to just pull it together and help these guys out to get to Trinidad.
So how did you select your dates?
Well, the dates are always after the Easter vacation, and it's outside. It's kind of in the middle of the year in Trinidad. There's not much going on at that time except for summer parties and things like that. So we just chose. I just chose a random weekend, to be honest, the first year, and it usually people host these type of events at the end of the month or the beginning of the month, and I did it in the middle of the month, and it was still a great crowd.
Yeah, it certainly was. It certainly was. So what do you do after the show?
Well, right after the show begins breakdown. We have our team that does the breakdown and call all the sponsors, see how all the sponsors thought the show was, what's the feedback they got, get their reviews, talk to the bands, see how their experience was, talk to the sound engineer, talk to just the sound people overall, security. We do our post-mortem meeting as well with our team.
Postmortem.
Yeah.
And see what issues came up during the festival and how we can make sure that doesn't happen again for the following year. It's really a lot of just communication afterwards, because we have a great team to do the breakdown. Overnight the stage is gone and then it's clean up, and
It took like a week to put the stage up, right?
Yes.
yeah.
And one night to take it down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about your experience at Full Sail.
Okay.
Okay, why don't you tell us, what classes you might have taken that have helped you through, just some knowledge that you gained. Maybe you remember going to a Hall of Fame or doing something, exciting. And Sandra, you said you did a lot of volunteer work. Maybe you want
Yeah.
to talk a little bit about this, because everybody here is a Full
Yeah.
Sail student.
Well, that's what I really loved and still love about Full Sail was the opportunities that you get through the school, the volunteering opportunities. We got the opportunity to go help at the March Madness when they had it here in Orlando at the Amway Center. I volunteered at the Florida Music Festival as well. I volunteered at the Arts Festival in, Park Avenue, at this festival called the Zen Festival as well. I did a lot of volunteering with a lot of different promoters around town and events, music, anything that had to do with events. I did some volunteering, and I guess one of the biggest classes that helped me out the most would be the event management, which was at the time with Jamie. I'm not sure if she's still teaching
She's
that
still
class.
doing it.
Okay.
She's still doing it.
That was great. Because that honestly, that class, everything that we did in that class, we had to do for our
Yes.
festival with our proposals, meeting with the people, everything, pitching our festival to the sponsors. It really does. When Full Sail says they give you real world experience, they're not kidding. Like, you really do get real world experience, because everything that we learned, we put into,
Put it into
put into place, and we did it for our festival, and that's how it really prepared us to be able to do it the way that we did. And a lot of the people that we worked with were very impressed with our work ethic and the way that we presented everything, because we were on point with everything. We made sure that we implemented what we learned here at Full Sail.
You guys don't mind me asking you this, but how old are you?
I'm 25.
Oh yeah, I'm 25 as well.
Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
And I'm a lot older. But that was amazing. Okay, Lance, do you want to talk about your Full Sail
Yes.
experience?
Well, I came here on January 1st, 2013. Left home, left everyone, and first time I lived by myself. First time I actually pursued the degree that I wanted, because I did 2 previous colleges and I didn't really enjoy it as much as I enjoyed entertainment. And as Sandra said, the school prepares you for real world experience. In the entertainment business program, all of my projects, I based it on the family businesses that we have at home. I remember that we were always asked to choose a company in the States to base your project on, whether it's in marketing class or final project or event management. Every project that I did, I always asked my instructor, can I base this on what I want to do outside of the States? And they said, once you could provide references, legitimate references, and all of the classes, it just steered you directly to your final project, to your business plan, to what you really want to do. And along the way, I changed my mind of what I wanted to pitch at my final project. But when I arrived at that class, I said, I'm going to do a project that I have a dream about doing. And it was actually a burlesque event. And I had a great team in my class. I had a really, really good team. It was 3 ladies and myself. And, we aced it, because we just used all of the tools that each class taught you. All of the classes just, intertwine, all of them. Sometimes I had classmates thinking that, they don't know how this applies, but if you just sit and listen to the instructors, and they might be telling you their stories, they might be telling you their experiences, and that actually is more valuable to me than the textbook, because you actually get to hear the struggle and the reality. Because I remember my first class as well, one of the lecturers, he taught me, what class was that? Computer literacy? Yes, computer literacy. And he was a student and a graduate. He was a graduate. And it was the first class, and at the end of the class, he broke down and cried and said, told all of the students, this is our first month, do not stop following your dreams. He said, keep at what you're doing and don't let anything distract you. If you want to have friends that go out and stuff like that. Make sure you finish your assignments on time before 11:59 p.m. And that's something I made sure I did. So I was successful.
Well, I remember seeing, I was on Facebook and I saw Lance was actually putting together his final project. He was actually doing it in Trinidad, and that's how we reconnected. I'm like, Lance, you're doing this. I mean, this is for real. You've got the girls, you've got everything set up at the bar. It was like, this is great. This is absolutely great. So from a teacher's perspective, it's nice to see that, you know, dreams do become realities.
Yeah.
Really, really do.
I do.
Any advice for our Full Sail students? And then we can put the lights up and
Yeah.
we can get some questions from the floor. That'd be great.
Well, I guess there would be two things I would advise, and one of them would be, you know, take advantage of all the opportunities that you get through the school to be involved in projects outside of the university. You know, that's, you know, the volunteering really prepared me for what we're doing with the festival now. Really throws you out of your comfort zone. Get out of your comfort zone. You know, do what you don't normally do. You may end up liking it. You know, I remember meeting a lot of students that weren't too sure what they were going to do after school, and with the volunteering, you figure it out and you really learn what it is that you're good at. And the second thing that I would say is stay in touch with the people that you meet and network and build those relationships. And don't do it just because of business. Do it to build a genuine relationship. You know, you never know what your classmate is going to be doing 2 years after graduation. You know, we definitely didn't expect to be doing what we're doing now.
Yes.
And, you know, we're in touch with, you know, some of our old classmates and, you know, always trying to find out what each one of us are doing. And, you know, if the opportunity arises to work together, then, you know, go for it. And stay in touch with your teachers. You know, stay in touch with them. They'll be your mentors. Get a mentor. Like that was one thing I kept hearing at Full Sail. Have a mentor, and it's really important to have one. So, yeah, these are my.
Oh, that's a very tough
Act to follow.
after follow, yeah.
Okay, that's okay. All right, let's give it up for these guys.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Excellent. Thank you. I know we've got questions here. Does anybody have any questions? We've got people with microphones that are going to come down. Here's some questions. Great. Thank you.
Hello? Oh. How's it going? I kind of have 3 questions, but I'll let other people ask questions after my first one. So you decided that you wanted to do this festival after school and whatnot. Being a college student, probably being broke, how did you decide to like, all right, I need to get a financial backing and get investors and stuff like that?
Well, I actually was doing entertainment before I came to this school. And back at home, we have family businesses. We have the venue that we have our show in. It's my parents' venue. It's our family business. So that's how I actually became in entertainment. We have a hotel and a conference center, which is also a nightclub. And I started doing these events when I was 16 years old. And it just automatically became my passion, apart from all the other things that I was expected to be the successor of. But in terms of finances, I used to work in the company, save up all my money, and then throw a party, just host up my own events. And I did that for 7 years. I had 28 parties within 7 years. I have had triumphs. I have had many failures. And that's why I decided I wanted to do something outside of just a party. When I came here, I never thought that I was going to end up so involved in the music side of the business. And because I was so looking forward to the event management class. And you can't do an event without the talent. That's what I realized here. I mean, I know it's just always connected, and I just continued to study the market. That's what you really have to do. You have to know. You might not think that you're going to end up in whichever field you end up in. You might say, this is what I want to do, this is my passion, this is the kind of field I want to be in entertainment, but you never know which direction the market is going to take you after you've graduated, and that's how I ended up inside of this field. Any more questions?
I just wanted to say first, you guys are like my relationship goals.
Thank you.
Besides that, so I'm a female artist. I mean, I do music very, very, you know, I do a lot of music. But I wanted to know, since you guys are like in a different area of the world, you guys are in Trinidad mostly, do you guys look for volunteers to like actually be a part of your show? Because me being an artist, I would love to be able to have like different experiences within business as well, just to like get different opportunities and stuff like that. Just curious question.
Oh, you know, yeah, we definitely, this is the first year that we actually had volunteers through a university in Trinidad. And this was more for students who are doing event management. But we're always open to work with other people who are interested in expanding their work experience. I mean, a lot of our stuff is online. A lot of our marketing is online, so we can always do something. If there's ever any students who are interested in, you know, being a part of our project, because what we do, we want to make sure that when you come and do something with us, that you benefit from it as well, and it helps you grow as a professional as well, you know. And well, as an artist too, I mean, we had these bands from Guyana, and I mean, we're looking to expand more through South America this coming year as well. And it's all through online. It's really, everything is online, that we communicate with everyone online, and if you want to talk afterwards, we can do that.
Yes, like I said, we're having a meet and greet there, and we're having donut holes. And it's right in the business conference at 2:30 if you'd like to join us. Too, if you want to, you know, give her your cards or, you know,
Yeah.
whatever. Any other questions? You had a couple more. Good.
Hello, guys.
Oh, online. Peter, you got some?
Which way?
Well,
Oh.
actually, first of all, Randy wanted you to know that he's 59, not 60. And he wanted to know how, apart from the sponsors, that he said there was an entire area of local artists, products, jewelry, and tattoo artists and whatnot, and wanted to know how that impacted the marketing and the revenue stream.
Okay.
Oh, that's certainly Randy. Hi, Randy.
Yes,
That-
I know.
Randy was the guy that got the tattoo.
That certainly increased the marketing campaign. It gave something different to our event, to any event. No event that I know of in Trinidad does a section that, you know, is so geared towards the theme of the event. And, you know, we got a lot of, we actually got businesses that just are in that, who like that genre of music, and they as well helped us sell more tickets because we use them as ticket outlets.
Yeah.
Right.
We use them, they actually wanted our posters all over their shops.
Well, it helps them too,
Yes.
because some of the shops are only in one part of the island, so only the people who are in that part of the island know their shop. So it helps them get some advertisement as well, because, you know, we're advertising, go get your tickets at this location, and when they're at the festival, I mean, they get their whole market in one place. You
Yes.
know, from all over Trinidad, not just their area.
We have another one from Gavin. First, he wanted to let Sandra know that Hatchling will be performing at the Fort Walton Beach Green Door Music Hall.
Okay.
Oh, awesome. Well,
This
check it out, guys.
I think it's a bit of a hike from here, but if you're up in that area. He wanted to know if in the future, if foreign acts would be more part of the lineup, if you would be going more outside of Trinidad in
Yes.
that area.
Yes. Yes,
Certainly
we
would.
are already working on that, creating more relationships. So it is something that we're doing for the future.
And then we have one more from Carol, and she wanted to know what kind of challenges you faced with the Caribbean climate and financial setbacks and anything like that that went into the festival.
Oh, well, financial setbacks. Trinidad is supposedly under a recession right now. However, they say that the money is in the people, and people in Trinidad don't have a problem spending it on entertainment, right? So it did not. It probably did this year affect us a little bit because of the ticket price, but we made sure that we're gonna maneuver that depending on how the economy goes. And what was the other part of the question?
Climate.
Climate. Oh, well, there's only 2 seasons in Trinidad, the wet and the dry season. So that, the rainy season. So that's why we chose the first part of the year from January to June. It's the dry season. So
We
don't
still
get any
actually
rain.
get a little rain on the
Yes.
day of the event, but it's
Every
first
year.
thing in the morning. And the saying is when it rains, it's blessings.
blessings.
So we're getting blessed for our
And
our show.
And it happened each year.
Each year so far, it's been raining. First thing in the morning. By the time the show starts, I mean, it's all dried up.
Yep.
Great. Any other questions?
There's a question up there.
It's
Yeah.
down here.
Hi guys.
Hi.
This is the first time that I hear about you.
Okay.
So my question is, why Sky?
Why Sky? That's a good question because I took about 4 hours. I actually had my other friend Samir, who was a graduate from here. He was like right around the office, lives right around our office, and I told him, I need some help. What should I call this event? Because I wanted it to be an acronym, SRF. Well, it became SRF, and you know our venue's name is the Skyview Lounge. Something else is named Sky.
In the vodka.
The vodka, right? The vodka, you know. Everything just tied in. He said, why not just use your venue's name? I said, okay. I mean, keep it within the theme. And when I was thinking of the concept, I was thinking of an evening vibe. I like to see the sunset. And that was it. That's how I wanted the event to be set up. So as soon as the event starts, you're seeing the sun setting. And it's a nice, and the colors of the lights and everything had to be sunset colors. So if any of you get a chance, you could, if you see the artwork I created, the logo actually has a sunset in the background. Not this one or that one, but the
You'll
official
see it
logo.
on our Facebook page.
Are you going to put it on your website or your Facebook
Yes.
page?
Yep.
Why don't you tell them what the name of it is? So
Oh,
that they-
SKYY Rock Festival. Look it up on Facebook and Instagram. We have our pages.
And the
And our
website.
website is schmidtentertainment.com.
Schmidt Entertainment. Okay, great. He's got some cool T-shirts. Okay, here we go.
Hi. Hi, my name is Nesta Vera, film grad, which I met you back in 2014, actually. That was in 2013, it was 2014, but we were close. Actually, my question is to you. Lately, I've been doing a lot of like mentoring students that are in the industry in Ecuador, and I'm from Ecuador. A lot of them are gravitating to me through the Facebook pictures and stuff that I see. I've noticed there's a lot of women that have been doing a lot of things, and I know here in the States we have like associations like Women in Film and a lot of other outlets for young ladies to be empowered by other women in industry. Is there anything like that in Trinidad, and is there anything like that for?
Not at the moment, not for music. I mean, there's for business women in general, but when it comes to empowerment for women in the music industry, there isn't at the moment. I mean, for example, in our rock industry in Trinidad, it's more male dominated. Actually, I think I was the first female that they had to really deal with for such a type of show. But actually, I'm glad that that is something that you're bringing up, because there is a lot more women wanting to get involved, and majority of our volunteers for this year's festival were women. So it is something that we're going to tap into a little bit more in the coming years. Yep.
So I understand that you're in the entertainment business. Me and my friend, our ultimate goal is to eventually start a music festival. We keep getting thrown between music business and entertainment business. What would you think we should do?
I would say stick to your degree program because, as I said before, I didn't know that when I heard about the music business program, I heard a lot of people say that they were similar because it's at the end of the day, it's still business. So you get a lot of the courses in each degree program. And for a music festival, I think that the entertainment business program was more than sufficient to outfit you perfectly to host any type of event.
Yeah. I mean, the entertainment, along with volunteering at any type of music festival that you can, really is going to prepare you. I mean, that's what really prepared me was the volunteering, and the courses do an excellent job to get you on the right track.
All right, I'm back.
Yay.
All right. So during your event, how do you have the people there? Like, how do they know what's where, when, who's performing, and what's going on? Is it through your website or flyers, or do you have an actual app that's like, hey, we have this here, maybe videos and posts of what's going on and what could happen in the future and what's happened in the past?
We don't have an app. Well, as actually, if you can see here, like you'll see how each band got their own. So they know what day the band is going to performing that they want to see. Now we give all the bands the times that they're going to perform, and we just let the people know what time they're performing. We don't advertise the time because we know people are going to be selective with the time they get to the festival, and we want them to be there all day long. So all they really know through us is the day that they're performing, and the bands let them know what time that they're going to be going on stage.
Because we also don't want someone just coming to see their band. The whole purpose of the show is to create a platform for these bands to get seen
Exposure.
and get a new crowd. So some people still come late because they expect the headliners would be there at that time. But we make sure that, come. We don't tell anyone the time. And actually, everyone asks. People call all the time, the week of the festival, the day of the festival. Where can I get tickets? What time is this band performing? I said, I'm not sure. I'm just, someone helping the event. My phone is ringing off the
He
hook.
put his personal phone number on the posters.
Yeah, we have our personal phones, so we get calls. I mean, up to 2 weeks before the festival, it's calls straight through the day. I mean, we still have bands calling and asking us if we have an extra available slot for them. But we don't. I mean, we start booking our bands a year in advance and getting those contracts signed by the end of the year. All contracts are signed. So after that, it's just starting to create the marketing content. Yep. We actually have bands already requesting slots for next year. Yep.
Excuse me?
We already have bands requesting slots for
I'm
next year.
sure.
Yep.
I'm sure. Anybody else? Somebody here? Here you go.
Oh,
And
here's
a friend.
over here. Can pass it down.
Okay, last one. So I've experienced this myself. Failures, like failing, and then life happens. Like this current year, I had my father pass away, which was
Sorry.
really, it's okay. It was tough. And then literally 2-3 weeks later, my son was born. So
Wow.
it's kind of like a roller coaster, you
Yeah.
know, just bouncing around. Like, so, like, what chaos did you guys experience, and what helped you guys like keep going through? I know the dream, you know, you guys are there, but like, what's still like driving you guys to keep going?
You want to go first?
I got to meet a lot of people doing this show, and I never expected to get so involved with the talent. And actually, Sandra managed one of the bands that performed for 1 year, and we became very, very close. And we saw the need. We saw like they weren't in a position to, be that financial, but they never gave up. And this band was doing this for how many years?
He's
So
been doing
many
it since the 90s.
Since the 90s. He's
Yeah, it's
in his
been-
40s, and he's been doing it
That's
since
the
the
guy
90s.
with the long
the
dreadlocks,
dreads.
the blonde
Oh,
dreadlocks.
blonde, yeah.
Seeing these guys is what gives me the inspiration to stay and to continue developing it. And, I want to keep expanding the festival and not only tap into just the show, but figure out ways that we can branch out into different areas that the talent needs, whether it be sourcing a record label or recording arts or anything that they need, marketing, development. We just see the need for that and continue doing it for them.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the musicians are a big motivation to what we're doing. I mean, we're doing it because we love it, but seeing that we have so many people who are now benefiting from it as well, and wanting to be involved and seeing how many other people are growing from what we're doing. It just motivates us to keep pushing no matter what happens or no matter what people say. We just keep pushing, keep swimming.
Yeah. Did you have a question?
Yeah, he had a question.
Yeah, so my name is Kraft. I'm from entertainment business. And my question was, you mentioned that band, the headliner, was about to like not make it. So I'm curious as to like what your plan would have been had they not made it, what you would have done.
Well, we had a really long list of bands who were just waiting to hop in. So what we really would have done was do a bit of shifting in the schedule and just put another band in. Because we had the band who went to Germany who would have taken that slot, if anything. But we did have some backup plans just in case. Even that, we had backup plans even prior to knowing that this was going to happen. You know, it was always good to have a backup plan, and that's what we did, fortunately. But fortunately, they made it.
And the last three headliners, the Supernormal Band, Lynchpin, and Aeons of Disorder, all of the members went on the stage together, which was something that never happened before as well. And they just all basically had a little jam session that was the highlight for the Saturday night. Yeah, it was amazing.
Hey, my name is Mario Lopez. It's kind of like a two-part question. First is like a marketing thing. When it comes to a music festival, I know there's like every year you're growing, so there's like you're either gonna do your lineup better or your production better. And another part is like, do you feel like you're on something on a bigger, kind of like a bigger movement than you think you are? You're starting a movement in Trinidad, in your country.
Yeah.
Yes, I certainly do. That's what, that's what drives the passion, that I didn't expect that it would be the success it is and get the response and the love from all of the talent. They look to us now to continue what we're doing, and we're just not going to stop.
Are you thinking it might be twice a year, or you just want to keep it?
From the first year, people requested, "Are you going to have a next one in October?" And I said, "No." I said I did not want to, oversaturate the market. I said, if I'm going to do another event, it would not be named the same thing. It would, some people ask now if we can do a general music festival, to promote other genres apart from soca and calypso and chutney. Or a lot of people are asking us to do that. So maybe in the future,
we're just
we might do that.
Studying how everything goes.
Okay, any other questions?
All right.
Well, you guys have been a wonderful audience. Absolutely wonderful audience. Let's give them one more round of applause.
Thank you.
And like I said earlier, we're having a meet and greet, and my class is here. I hope I see you at the meet and greet, because I haven't even met you yet. And I'm looking forward to meeting you, and I'll see you at 2:30. And it's so good. Thank you all. So nice to look out, and I know most of these people. Thank you very much. Okay, well, that's great.
I just wanna stay in the sun where I find. I know it's hard sometimes. Pieces of peace in the sun's peace of mind. I know it's hard sometimes. Yeah, I think about the end just way too much. But it's fun to fantasize. All my enemies who wouldn't wish who I was. But it's fun to fantasize. Oh, I'm falling, so I'm taking my time on my ride. Oh, I'm falling, so I'm taking my time on my ride. Taking my time on my ride. I die for you, that's easy to say. We have a list of people that we would take. A bullet for them, a bullet for you, a bullet for everybody in this room. But they don't seem to see many bullets coming through. See many bullets coming through. Metaphorically, I'm the man, but literally, I don't know what I do. I'd live for you, and that's hard to do. Even harder to say when you know it's not true. Even harder to time on